Frame shape is what got me. That, though this is a resin frame, it's not wood. $9.29 is what Goodwill was charging for it. I don't know if message boards have done their time, but I'm going to change it out and make it into a sign, I think. So I need to take this off, though it's very pretty. It is very pretty. Look, that's fake. How's that supposed to stay on there? Anyway, so it's actually screwed in, so I need to get my little bitty screwdriver. Hobby Lobby, $69.99, which we know they're always 40% off. And then $23.80 was the clearance price, and who knows what the person bought it for. Maybe not. Maybe it's just it's just been there for a while. Okay, it might have been glued on too. That's okay. I'm not using the board anyway. Though it's really pretty, I admit, y'all. That velvet is very pretty. The question is, did this just sit in the... Oh, it did. Okay. Not that I'm reusing it, but I can use it as a template. And I'll see if we can get cardboard off. I have a leftover piece of plywood from another project, so it looks like it is going to be the size that I need. Yay! That's the part where you're like, I'm not a hoarder. I needed it. I had a use for it. Okay, I'm gonna get it cut out. Okay, let's see if we fit. Did I measure right? I did, yay! Okay, so you get those frayed edges, so I'm gonna go ahead and get those sanded. Thought process is, hey, they used hot glue. Why don't I use hot glue to attach it? So that's what I'm going to do. I want to make sure my hot glue is nice and hot though, so it doesn't dry on or, harden on me before I get it all on. I want my wording to be in the back so we don't have to see that. Keep rubbing it until I feel like, applying pressure that it's dried. Ordered this without having any clue that I was going to find this frame at Goodwill. I was looking for Valentine's things to do, and I ran across this. Though I don't know if I'm going to be able to make the heart work. Maybe just the wings. The heart's a little bit on the big side. I guess you could put it down here. Oh, it still looks pretty down there. Well, what they showed is it like in the middle of it, but my frame, that's going to be a really long frame. So make your own. You don't always have to go with what they have. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. That is so fun. And it needed a long frame. Though I do need to, that's why I had to get everything put together before painting. The paint job's not really my jam. I would like, I can envision more of a chippiness to it, but I didn't want to shellac or seal any of this in because I need to glue these down. They came with hardware. They are wood. I think it's just gorgeous. Has that old like Victorian folk art. It's got a lot of things going on. I don't know what you'd call it. But I'm going to go ahead and get some Titebond glue and get these gluing down so that way I'll be able to paint this. Oh no, it's already, see, look at it, it's already it's already starting. Paint cans work just fine for weights. And then we'll see if that, I think the hot glue is going to be fine, but we just need to make sure that that's adhered to the boards are adhered to each other. So we are dried on, but I want to I wish I would have had this a little bit higher, but you know, I was looking down on it when I was doing it. I want to go ahead and I'm going to paint everything black first. In the black, it's really pretty. So, but I want to seal that paint in. So I'm just going to use some weather defense. In my mind, for the wings, I need to mix up 3 different colors. Okay, so I'm going to, for the back base, I'm going to mix up Sweet Pickins Flour Sack. I'm going to try to paint these all at the same time, you all. Wish me luck. You know, have you ever seen one of those cherubs, the really old cherubs? It's all chippy paint, wooden. I don't know if I'm going to be that good, but I'm going to give it a darn good try here. So, okay, back base, flour sack. For the wings themselves, I'm going to do flour sack. And then I'm going to do antique ironstone so that it's not completely matching. But for some reason, I thought to take away that ironstone that's sometimes too tanny pink for me, I'm going to add a little butter. Oh, a little butter, Yvonne, just a little. Cause a high cholesterol here. Maybe a little bit more butter. Maybe that scoop knew what I was doing. It's nice because you can mix it up dry and kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like. Because I like the antiques ironstone, but sometimes I don't like that it looks a little pinky. So I thought, well, let's try some butter. Butter always makes things better. I don't even know how many scoops I used. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Like, you know, just a hue, just a hue. You want it to be not the same as the background. Or maybe the background should be this, and this should be the wings. I am going to actually do olive. 2 olive. This is for the frame part. And I want it to be really light. So I'm going to do 2 flour sack. And then to tone it with the rest of it, I'm going to do butter. What the heck am I doing, right? Oh, I don't know. Oh, hello, stay in there. Okay, yes, I'm going to do this as the background color. I think it does coordinate well. So we're going to start off with that first. I know I chose black, but just wanted to make it all the same color at first. Maybe I didn't even need to, but it's there now. To help this coat along with the blow dryer so I can get the second coat on. Okay, we got some crackling going on, which is good, but it's not dark enough. So the first coat should attract the second coat. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the wings, which as you see, we'll need the 2 coats too. And then just going down those sides. Now I think my white wings are going to need more white, but we're going to do some red wagon, because in this video, that's what I had used on another project. Okay, finally get to the green. Get the main part of it on, then I'll go in gingerly towards the inside. That is a pretty green. All the details, you kind of have to push it in there, and it'll pool a little bit. Do a little dumpster dive in, because I'm like, okay, so this is resin, and they already pre-drilled some of the holes in here. So I think I'm going to reuse the back. Hopefully the heat gun will let me take the sticker off. Oh, yay, it did. I think I have it lined up. Even though, like you could tell, it was hung, you know, I'm going to try to pre-drill some holes to put the hanger back on, because I know that this will hang it. I was like, I think it's just better to put back what was on here. Hang this. Couldn't be 24, could it? No. So that's okay. So it's 12.5, because it's 25. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to poke little holes, because I'm going to pre-drill into the resin. Okay to be in love with the piece, because this is just absolutely gorgeous the way that it crackled. I actually made sure that it dried overnight. And now I'm just going to use aging wax, and I think it'll tie all three colors together. Just when you get into these pooled areas, sometimes it's hard to get, you know, it takes a little bit longer for the paint to dry. I didn't seal it in with anything, so whatever it darkens up, you want this to look like an old cherub piece. Do you guys know what I'm referring to? That were made out of wood, and they were just gorgeous. I know it'll darken up the white, but that's okay. I don't want it to be such an in-your-face white. I'll be taking clear. I just got to get it on first. Okay, now I'm going to dip into the clear. Oh. I knew as soon as I started doing that, I was going to love it. Cute. It's very cute. I love the little mid-century modern glass that's in there. $5.29. We have a drawer. You can definitely tell that it's a newer piece. So we'll take the drawer out, because I got to do a little glass maintenance here. It's been taped in. That's okay. We work with what we have. It's very fancy tape, though, I will tell you. Whew, there. We got it. Just need to take those out. See, it's just making it so it's sloppy. Good. I can't remove it. I'm really sure there's, if they glued, I think that the screws might have been stripped and they glued them. You can see. So that means they're not in there very securely. Don't want that, so I'm going to see if I can get them to come out. Easier said than done, but they're not good. They're not. There we go. Now you could totally just put some glue, some wood glue in there, put a toothpick in there, let that dry. I have a lot of process to do to this anyway, so I'm just going to fill it in with Bondo, which will be strong enough to then re-glue those screws in there. And I think the screws from the frame that I did earlier will actually fit into those holes. We'll replace those. So a little bit of Bondo. Hardware, so I'm going to have to fill in those holes too while I have the Bondo out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and my Bondo's dry, so we're going to get it sanded. I'm actually going to put this back on. I'm going to paint the hardware. It's not pretty hardware, it's just cheap hardware. So it's easier to paint it. It should tighten them up too. Putting that Bondo in there. They're small and hard. There, now it opens and closes the way it should without being loose. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get it wiped down because I'm going to need to seal this in with some shellac. And I'm actually going to seal the whole thing in with shellac. So I don't know what this is. It's just weird board. So I'm going to tape that off because I'll try to stain it. I'm going to do straight red wagon for that little cubby. There's just something about the way that glass is made that just makes me think old farmhouse, mid-century modern, whichever you want to call it. So I'm going to do red wagon. I haven't done red wagon in a while. It always sells well. It's just a large large cubby. So get that underneath first. 2 coats of shellac. There again, I'm trying to get those hard spots. You can't even. You're right. Want to make sure that everybody's painted. Now it makes sense why I tape off the entire back, right? It's always the biggest, like, where do you stop and start, right? Where do you... I'm crackling crazy in my favorite. I'm sorry, y'all. So I'm just going to do a sanding before putting some wax on. Make sure everything's smoothed down. Whatever distresses, it's all good. Get my tape taken off here so while I'm sanding I can get that crusty edge that builds up from the paint to the tape. So I'm going to go in with Jolie's black wax and see what that does to the inside of this drawer. I'm not going to take all that red out, but at least I didn't want to have to paint it. And then I love red wagon and black wax. I love the red and the black. You thought that was a lot, but the wood was so dry. I just soaked that wax right in. Told you I love what black wax does to the red paint, milk paint. I don't know. I think just even waxing over this looks very cheap. I just been dipped in stain board. It just gives it a little bit of richness. Though, as I said, it's not taking all the red out. It's just blending it to the piece. So before putting a knob on, I'm going to put my glass back on. Does this? I'm thinking the texture should go in the inside. So sometimes you gotta give yourself a hole for that screw to kind of sit in, especially when they're this small. So I couldn't stop this from slipping when I was trying to screw those on. I'm still going to screw them on, but I'm going to hot glue it in place, trying to do a very thin layer. Exactly what I wanted to do, but I think just for secure, to secure the glass, that is what needed to be done. But I'm still going to add these in for another extra security. It's glass, y'all. Okay, now we just need to put hardware on here. Oh, of course. What is that? What is that? It's like 12 3/4. I am not a math major. 12 and a half. We're going to give it 12 and a half. So that would be 6, and then 6 and a half would be 1/4. And then where are we in the scheme of half here? 2 inches. So right about here. Just gonna poke a hole. That way I know where to drill. I just try to find a bit about the same size as what my screw is. Use one of these, look, because there's texture on the glass. I'm like, hey, there's texture on these little knobs that I had purchased in somebody's booth. Thank you for for some reason always having them. Ooh, I'm just, because it's so thick, I'm just there, and I have to do a little nut to screw it in place. Now, whether this will work or not, yes, I picked up this clock. This is plastic. It's not wood. It is broken. It actually, the tag says as is. So that means they put a battery in it. They tested it. It didn't work. You can see where it, as this acidity. I'm going to try to get in here to save the clock face. I do really good. This is a large clock face, though it's not vintage antique, you know, it's still a clock face. But I don't know, is it just paper? Do I need to put it on something to give it some more stability? But that was my thought. I'm like, oh, and as is, I look for broken clocks that, especially newer ones, to use the parts. A whole bunch of little screws. We'll get those taken off. We just don't know what's in the inside. Let's see what we have. Oh, we still have more. Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, we got a round. That's actually real glass. Okay, so what do we have here? Have a piece of paper. So let me see if we can get this off. Okay, so it looks as if this is glued onto that plastic. So I gotta come up with an idea. So I'm trying to see if I can get to like a flat area to get to the paper. And now can we stick something underneath there, or is it just a sticker? Slow process though. Do I add some heat to help release the glue sticky that's without burning the face? The plan was to always put this on a piece of wood anyway. Yeah, that's working. Just go gingerly. Oh, almost there. You'd be tempted just to pull. Don't get that glue. Get that glue to release. See, this is where it was starting to rip on me, but hey, I got a clock face now. I buy these square boards at Home Depot, and I think, yeah, I will have, oops, feel that. You could feel that was folded over. Yeah, so I'm just going to cut it, glue it on there, and then cut it off, the excess, and then we'll round it to there. But oh, I'm so excited because the paper just, you know, when it's got sticky, it's not going to survive very long. But backing it with a piece of wood of some sort will be wonderful. I think I'm going to use the wood glue. I'm going to fix that little spot. And then I know it was a hard decision. Like, it's a thicker piece of paper, so I wasn't sure like if my transfer gel by Fusion would be enough to hold it on. I don't want it something that's pulling away from the wood. So I think this is what I'm going to use. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick another piece of the plywood on top and then put some paint cans to press it together. And I just stuck it, another piece of plywood over there, actually put the glass on top of the image. Hopefully no glue is seeping through. And then put the paint cans on for some weight to hopefully press it flat. Okay, I just need to cut off close so that I should be able just to sand into the circle, I'm hoping. Now I'm just going to take the sander, try to get a little bit closer. I got pretty close actually, so. Okay, we're all sanded, but I need to cut that hole out. So I'm actually going to put some tape on the back, hopefully that it doesn't like split the wood too awful much when I'm drilling the hole. We'll see. It is the back, but you know. So I try to find a drill bit that's about the same size. Not too bad. Since this is paper and we got this mark here, some of the glue squished over that or maybe the board had something on it, I don't know. I'm going to just go ahead and do a couple layers of weather defense to protect it. I do want to stain this or even paint it so it all just kind of blends, but I feel like I need to seal this paper in because, like, see, I didn't know, maybe I had glue, I don't know. Because I sprayed the weather defense and it might have gotten onto the sides, I'm just going to, I did 2 coats of the weather defense. I'm going to just paint the back of this black, just using some Fusions coal black. I'm just going to pour it right on there. I mean, you'll know it's on a piece of wood. I just didn't want you to know it was on a piece of wood. I'm just going to do a quick sanding, get out brush strokes, and put a little bit of aging wax on the back of this. It just makes me feel better that it's just not painted. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm complete if I haven't done this step. To me, it looks just a little bit more salvaged. I don't have to worry about it sticking onto that. I can just wipe it off with the towel because I sealed that front end.
These 2 boxes.
A step. A wooden step. Very useful. So but I want to make it pretty. It's just a wooden step. So you can use this as a plant riser. You can use this as a decor riser to rise your stuff up. Stage stuff if you are having a sale, but I thought we should be able to make this pretty. Why not? So $7.29 at Goodwill. Get the price tag off. And then on the bottom, I noticed somebody had glued these little, there's only 3 left though, one's missing, so we need to take them off. If I can pick any of the excess glue off here. I've been having really good luck when I add scallops onto items. So I thought, you know what? I think I can do that. I know they're not like all the way across the same, but it kind of gives it that cottagecore romantic kind of look. Get some wood glue on here and then brad nail them in, and then we'll kind of cover it and blend it in with my friend Bondo. I'm just going to kind of guesstimate by eyesight, like what is the overlap going to be here. Okay, I'm gonna wipe off my excess glue. It's already so cute like that. Got two sides here, so gotta do both sides. Okay, so I need to cut my excess off, so I'm just going to eyeball because I think I can sand it off closer. Now, I don't want that hard edge lip. Do you see that? It'll stand out. So the Bondo will help me blend that all in and give it security that it doesn't pop off. And then all the little staples I use to hold it in place, I will cover them up also. So you don't want to mix up too much that you just want to work with little. So then this is just the little hardener. You just mix it in together. So I want to go in this little curved area here and where the staples are and fill that in. Okay, so my Bondo is dry now, so we're going to go in and sand it. I have 80 grit. Okay, we're sanded. I sanded the whole thing. Actually, the top coat was really good, so it took me a while to sand, but now we'll go ahead and dust it off. And I'm just going to wipe, get all that rest of that sanding dust off there. Anything that might prevent paint from sticking, even though I'm not looking for a perfect paint job anyway, but you know. Start off with Heirloom by Fusion. I may do some chippiness over it with another milk paint color, but we will see. I was definitely envisioning this for a nice, like, blue, cloudy color. Just those soft little colors. And this is quite large, actually. Once you get into it, you're like, oh, that's a big piece. And we have to do the underside because you see that all that. So the Fusion has a top coat and primer in it. So this is a great base coat over the shellac. That's the part that's going to make me excited. Covering it up with paint so we can just see the blend. Oh, I love the cloud color of the blue. Well, the sky color, I guess clouds are white, but you know. I'm going to try to make a blue similar to the Heirloom. That's probably a close match, but I don't want it to be a match. I'd like it to be different. Just so it looks like somebody just repainted the piece, which definitely is what I'm doing. So I've got Kent, I've got Birdie, I've got some butter because I liked that earlier in this video. And then I have some flour sacks. So let's see what I just created. I have no idea how many scoops again. Yeah. Okay, so we have some crackling, crazing going on. I don't know. Let's see when I sand it if we're going to see any of the underneath because it cracked all the way down to the wood. I love the color. Absolutely love the color. I really did think that it would chip off and I would see more of the Heirloom, but not the case. So I'm going in with some Fusion's aging wax because there is crackling, crazing. I tried not to go too heavily over where I put the Bondo because that's not so pretty of a color and it doesn't necessarily take on the wax. Was there anything wrong with just painting it Heirloom? No, but my eye just loves to see character, a story a piece tells. So I know. I like it. So thank you so much for watching today's video. Yes, get into Goodwills. Let me know what you're finding. Are you finding lots? Hey, that was, I had a cart full, but the cart full was probably because the items were big. So I love that. Angel wings and the hearts, little God wink moment. I ordered it. I'm like, that is just amazing. I'll find something. And here you go. I found a frame to put it on, and I will be reusing that velvet on something. That is really pretty that came off that frame. But I love scallops, recycled. If you can't find a vintage old clock face, hey, create one out of a broken clock. So thanks for watching. We will see you next time, and you can see what I'm up to. Bye.